There is a fundamental misunderstanding in the way we approach the creation of our lives, a core misconception that keeps us locked in a perpetual state of seeking what is already available. We have been taught to operate under a paradigm of force, a model that tells us to send our desires out into the universe to ask, to want, to hope, and to strive. This entire framework is built on a foundational error, an error that generates the very reality we wish to escape. The truth is that the signal of the life you desire is never sent from a place of lack. It is only ever received from a place of being. The universe is not a void that you must shout into. It is a plenum, a field of infinite information that you must learn to tune into. This initial shift in perception is the most critical step you will ever take because it is a movement from a consciousness of victimhood to one of ultimate sovereignty. The belief that you must send a signal to some external force, whether you call it God, the universe, or the field, places you in a subordinate position. It implies a separation between you, the petitioner, and the power that grants the request. This separation is the primary illusion that holds the old world in place. But when you understand that the power is not external but is in fact an innate capacity to receive, you collapse that illusion entirely. You are not asking a powerful force to change your life. You are the power itself, choosing which life to perceive. This realization dismantles the very idea of unfairness or cosmic punishment. The universe is not withholding anything from you. It is not testing you. It is not judging your worthiness. It is a neutral and infinitely accommodating mirror. It can no more show you a reflection of abundance while you are vibrating in scarcity than a physical mirror can show you a smile while you are frowning. The responsibility and the power are entirely your own. This is not a burden but the ultimate liberation. It means you no longer need to wait for the world to change for you. You no longer need to hope for external conditions to align. The point of power is not in the future. It is not outside of you. It is here and it is now, within the state of being you choose to occupy. Your consciousness is the fundamental reality, and the world you experience is its temporary reflection. To change the reflection, you must simply become the source of a new image. The reality you are seeking is not something you must construct from scratch. It is not a distant destination you must journey to. It exists now as a finished vibrational pattern, a stable frequency within the quantum field. Think of the quantum field as a library containing every possible book, every story that could ever be told. The story of your ideal life, where you are healed, vibrant, and whole, is already on the shelf. The story where you are abundant, free, and sovereign already has its spine facing you. You do not need to write these stories. Your only task is to select them from the infinite catalogue of reality. The signal is already broadcasting. The music is already playing. Your work is not to compose the symphony, but simply to tune your radio to the correct station. This shift in understanding, from sending to receiving, from creating to selecting, is the master key that unlocks a different reality. The struggle you have felt, the resistance you have faced, comes from the erroneous belief that you are separate from what you desire and that you must bridge that gap through effort. But there is no gap to bridge, there is only a frequency to match. Let us deconstruct the flawed energy of sending. When your mode of operation is to ask for something, what is the unspoken declaration you are making to the field of consciousness? You are declaring your own lack. The act of wanting is a powerful energetic signature of absence. When you are in a state of wanting, you are vibrating at the frequency of not having. And the quantum field, which is an impartial mirror that reflects your state of being, faithfully organizes reality around that vibration. It does not judge you, it does not withhold from you. It simply matches your signal with perfect precision. If your broadcast is, "I am in need of abundance," the reflection must be the experience of needing abundance. If your frequency is, "I am searching for love," the reality that must materialize is one of continuing to search. This is not a metaphysical punishment. It is a law of energetic resonance. This energy of sending, of wanting, of chasing is the energy of the ego. The ego is the aspect of consciousness that perceives itself as a fragment living in a world of separation and scarcity. It believes it must compete and struggle and control its environment to survive. This belief system generates a contracted, tense energy field around your being, a field of energetic static. This static is composed of your doubt, your impatience, your fear, and your constant analysis of why things are not working. This chaotic broadcast scrambles your ability to perceive the subtle signals of the realities that are available to you. It is like trying to hear a delicate whisper during a hurricane. The ego's incessant questioning, "Where is the evidence? Why hasn't it happened yet?" is the loudest noise in your field, and it keeps you tuned to the very frequency you are trying to escape. This introduces the great paradox of effort. In the three-dimensional world of matter, effort is often rewarded. To build a house, you must exert physical force. To achieve a goal, you must take action. We have been conditioned to apply this same logic to the quantum world of creation, but this is a profound error. In the realm of consciousness and frequency, effort is counterproductive. The energy of trying is a frequency in itself. It is a signal that communicates struggle and resistance. The harder you try to force a manifestation, the more you affirm your belief that it is difficult to achieve and that it is not here now. You are essentially creating energetic back pressure that holds your desire at bay. The universe does not deliver what you work hard for. It delivers what you are a vibrational match to. This is why you see people who struggle immensely and never get ahead, while others seem to manifest their desires with grace and ease. The difference is not in their effort, but in their alignment. The one who struggles is constantly tuned to the frequency of struggle itself. The one who allows is tuned to the frequency of flow and reception. True power is not in the force of your push, but in the clarity of your signal. A clear, quiet signal of being will always be more effective than a loud, noisy signal of trying. Surrender, in this context, does not mean giving up. It means surrendering the need to control the outcome. It means surrendering your attachment to how and when your desire will manifest. It is a radical trust in the process, a trust that if you hold the frequency, the reflection must appear. This is the shift from a Newtonian mindset of force to a quantum mindset of resonance. The first and most powerful step is therefore to lay down the weapons of struggle. It is to cease the act of pushing against reality. You must consciously shift from the energy of doing to the sublime power of being, from the state of active pursuit to one of receptive allowance. The great paradox of creation is this: the moment you stop trying to force a specific outcome, you create the coherent, energetic space for a higher outcome to be received. You cease to be the desperate sender caught in a loop of his own making, and you begin the sacred process of becoming a silent receiver, a conscious observer of reality. Now we must turn our awareness to the true nature of the quantum field. It is not an empty void waiting for your command. It is an infinitely dense field of all potentiality, a simultaneous broadcast of all possible timelines. Every version of reality you can possibly imagine already exists as a coherent frequency pattern within this field. Thinkers who have bridged the gap between science and spirit, like Dr. Joe Dispenza, speak of this field as a realm of pure potential that responds not to our pleading but to our coherence. Your consciousness does not invent the signal out of thin air. It selects a pre-existing signal from this infinite broadcast. Your power lies not in creation from nothing but in selection from everything. To grasp this more deeply, imagine your reality not as a single linear path, but as an infinite library of parallel film strips or timelines. Every possible permutation of your life exists right now as a complete and finished film. There is a timeline where you are a celebrated artist, a timeline where you are a healer, a timeline where you are living in a different country, a timeline where the problem you are currently facing was solved years ago. All of these timelines exist simultaneously as potential realities, superimposed on top of one another within the quantum field. They are all equally real and equally valid. You are not living on a single timeline. You are at the intersection of all of them. Your state of being, your baseline frequency, acts as a projector light. That light can only illuminate one film strip at a time. The timeline you are currently experiencing as your life is simply the one your projector light is currently focused on. Therefore, to change your life, you do not need to edit the film you are watching. You do not need to struggle within its scenes. You simply need to shift the focus of your projector light. When you change your internal frequency, you are not altering your current reality. You are shifting your consciousness to perceive a different pre-existing reality. The old timeline does not cease to exist. You have simply withdrawn your awareness from it and it goes dark. Your awareness has now illuminated a new film strip, one that is a perfect vibrational match to your new state of being. This is why change can happen in an instant. It is not a slow process of building. It is an instantaneous shift of perception from one parallel reality to another. Your job is not to be the screenwriter or the actor struggling in the plot. It is simply to be the projectionist, choosing which reality to light up. This is the deeper meaning of the observer effect in quantum physics. The act of observation, the placement of your focused awareness, is what collapses a wave of infinite probability into a single particle of experience. Your consistent state of being, your baseline emotional frequency, acts as the tuning dial. It determines which of the infinite realities broadcasting in the field you are able to perceive and experience. You are not sending a signal hoping for a response. You are choosing a frequency and watching the universe reorganize itself to reflect that choice. Reality is a mirror, and you can only see in it the reflection of the face you are making in this moment. Let us explore the mechanics of your own being as the ultimate receiving instrument. You are a biological antenna of immense sophistication, designed specifically to interpret vibration and transmute it into what you call physical reality. Your nervous system functions as the intricate wiring of this antenna. When your nervous system is in a state of coherence and safety, regulated and calm, the signals it can process are clear, pure, and high frequency. When it is chronically in a state of stress, fight or flight, ruled by cortisol and adrenaline, the wiring becomes overloaded with static, making it impossible to perceive the subtler frequencies of peace, abundance, and wellness. This is why calming your physical body is not a passive activity. It is the foundational act of preparing your antenna to receive a new broadcast. The epicenter of this receiving technology is your heart. Modern science has confirmed that the heart produces a powerful electromagnetic field that extends several feet out from the body. This field is the primary interface between you and the quantum field. It is constantly reading the energetic information of your environment, and more importantly, it is constantly broadcasting a signature frequency determined by your emotional state. The coherent emotions of gratitude, appreciation, joy, and love create a smooth, rhythmic signature that tunes your antenna to the highest possible frequencies. The incoherent emotions of fear, anger, resentment, and victimhood create a chaotic, jagged signature that locks you onto the lower frequency bandwidths of reality where struggle and suffering are broadcast. The brain's role in this process is that of a processor or a translator. The brain receives the frequency selected and amplified by the heart's electromagnetic field, and its job is to render that frequency into a three-dimensional sensory experience. It builds your reality from the raw data of the frequency you are embodying. Your thoughts are the byproduct of the frequency you are tuned to. This is why attempting to use positive thinking alone often fails. You cannot think your way into a reality that your heart's frequency contradicts. The feeling is the prayer, the feeling is the tuning mechanism. You must first generate the emotional signature of the reality you choose, and the brain will then follow, presenting you with thoughts, images, and opportunities that are a match to that feeling. This alignment of a calm body, a coherent heart, and an observant brain is the master state of the conscious creator. In this state, you are no longer a victim of reality. You are its primary broadcaster and receiver. It is vital to understand that emotions are more than just feelings. They are carriers of complex information. The coherent emotions of gratitude, love, and peace are not just pleasant sensations. They are high-bandwidth data streams. They carry the geometric blueprint, the informational architecture, for harmonious and ordered outcomes. When you feel genuine gratitude, you are broadcasting an information packet into the field that contains the template for more experiences to be grateful for. The feeling of wholeness is a signal that instructs the body's cells with the blueprint for perfect health. These are not metaphors. They are descriptions of energetic data transmission. Conversely, the incoherent emotions of fear, anger, and jealousy are corrupted data packets. They are low-bandwidth signals that carry chaotic and fragmented information. The frequency of fear can only provide the field with the blueprint to construct more fearful circumstances. The information contained within the signal of blame can only build a reality where more people and events appear to blame. This is why you cannot create a positive outcome from a negative feeling state. The raw data contained within the negative emotion does not have the necessary information to construct a coherent positive experience. This elevates the act of managing your emotions from a simple wellness practice to the primary act of creation itself. You are a programmer choosing which code to send to the universal computer, and your emotions are the language of that code. Your heart is the programmer, and your reality is the printout. Living this understanding requires a new kind of discipline, a shift from managing the outer world to curating the inner world. When you wake each morning, your first question should not be, "What do I have to do today?" but rather, "What state of being will I embody today? What frequency will I hold as my dominant resonance?" This is the art of guarding your frequency. It is the understanding that your inner state is your single most valuable asset. Throughout your day, you must become a conscious observer of your own internal landscape. When you feel the pull of an old reactive emotion like frustration, impatience, or worry, you must see it for what it is: an old program, an old frequency trying to retune your dial to a familiar but unwanted station. Your task is not to fight these old feelings, but to simply withdraw your attention from them, acknowledge them without judgment, and then deliberately pivot your awareness back to the frequency you have chosen to embody. This is done by shifting your focus to a feeling of gratitude, by remembering the feeling of peace you cultivated, or by simply placing your hand on your heart and breathing until you feel a sense of inner calm return. This is not about suppressing emotion. It is about choosing your point of resonance. You are choosing which signal to amplify within your being. One of the greatest challenges is the evidence of your current 3D reality. The world you see with your eyes is an echo, a reflection of your past frequency. It is a lagging indicator. There is a buffer of time, a divine delay between your internal shift and the external reflection. Most people make the mistake of tuning to their new frequency for a short time. Then they look at their outer world, see no immediate change, and conclude that it isn't working. The moment they do this, they have abandoned their new frequency and retuned themselves right back to the old reality, proving their doubts correct. Hold your new frequency with unwavering faith, knowing that the mirror of reality has no choice but to eventually reflect the new state you have embodied. It is a law of physics, a law of consciousness. The field must match your signal. If you found resonance in this message and want to keep aligning with these teachings, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. This space is here to support your journey into deeper awareness, coherence, and creation. So the practice becomes a moment-to-moment choice, a continuous return to your chosen state of being. It is not something you do for 5 minutes in the morning. It is who you are becoming. You are no longer sending desperate signals into the void. You are becoming the very frequency of the reality you wish to experience. You are not asking for peace. You are embodying peace, and therefore you can only perceive a world where peace is reflected back to you. You are not chasing abundance. You are becoming the feeling of security and freedom, and therefore the field must arrange itself to bring you experiences that match that inner wealth. Let go of the timeline. Release the obsession with the how and the when. Your only variable is your state of being right now. The how is the domain of the quantum field, a field of intelligence far greater than your conscious mind. Your job is not to figure out the path. Your job is to become the destination. The more you can marinate in the feeling of your wish already fulfilled, the faster the field will conspire to build a bridge of incidents that leads you to its physical manifestation. This is the shift from a 3D consciousness of cause and effect to a 5D consciousness of being and receiving. You are not a body trying to get something. You are a consciousness choosing to experience something. The signal isn't sent. It is and always has been received. Your life is not a request you make to the universe. Your life is the frequency you hold. Stop talking to the universe and start being the reality you want it to reflect. Your entire world is waiting for you to change the channel. The broadcast of your new reality is on the air right now. Tune your being, tune your heart, tune your focus, and watch as a new world fades into view. A world that was not created by your struggle, but was simply received by your surrender to a new state of being.